What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Talk That Talk podcast. Once again with your host, Mr. Tux Topics. Once again, another real topic, a dope topic, one that we all can relate to. As I always say, everybody talking, but we talk that talk. We like to keep it on topics that relate to us, something that everybody can, pretty much relate to. So today's topic is tricking our youth, because in today's society, I hate to say it, but it seems like people don't want to grow up. So in return for you not wanting to grow up and living these fantasies in your head, what happens is you sit around telling stories and making up all these lies about the shit you did. And even if some of it is true, a nigga who really been through real shit, like real shit in the streets or in life period, they don't really want to sit around and talk about that shit because nobody want to relive the real life trauma. You know what I mean? When you got dudes who sit around, well, older dudes anyway, who sit around, because it comes with age. I wouldn't expect a young dude to, move or act the way I move. I know how I acted and how I moved when I was a certain age. So it's all understandable. But we're talking about the older dudes who want to be treated like an OG and like a big homie and all this other shit. But you out here moving like an idiot. If you really been through real shit in life, then you wouldn't want nobody else to go through it. And that's real shit. I've been in places and I've been involved in things and I've been around people who I don't choose to really sit around and talk about that shit, because if it's up to me, I like to keep the shit as far away from my inner thoughts as possible, because it's real life shit. A lot of people don't know what it feel like to tell somebody you see them tomorrow and get the call that they ain't here no more. Like actual people who you hang with on a daily basis. And I'm not talking about through natural causes. I'm talking murder and things like that. When you live a certain way and you've seen these things and experienced these things, you don't sit around and talk about it. You don't sit around and encourage the youth to do the same things, because you know the end results of these things. You know the inner workings of jail and the real stories, not the ones that people come home, and choose to talk about. We talk about the lonely nights and the people that ain't gonna be there for you and the letters that ain't coming and the bitch that ain't gonna wait for you and all type of other shit that people don't talk about. Because if more people talked about those things, the youth wouldn't be so willing to sign up for this shit. But when you have men who really ain't been through shit, or men who have been through certain things but ain't learned from them, this is what happens. And then you trick the youth into believing that this is the shit that they should be looking forward to. Let me tell you something. Gang shit phony. Street shit phony. All of this shit is phony. I got homeboys right now who wanted certain names and couldn't have them, and wanted to be viewed certain ways and never could. So it just breeds jealousy. So they sit around, like I said, and they tell these stories. What you got to start doing is asking these people, when did this happen? Because I understand that you telling me that, your hands work and you done beat up 1,000 people, but you ain't had a fight since the 90s, early 2000s. So what are you really teaching these youth? And it's not so much about what you're teaching them. It's so much the whole package that comes with it. Because when they follow this bullshit that you are teaching them and that you're sitting around telling them, you ain't even going to be there to hold them down. You ain't going to write letters. You ain't paying for no lawyers. You ain't taking care of no families and children and all that. Trust me, I've been down this road. These niggas like to act like they so real and they so 100 and they so that. Niggas ain't been through shit. Trust me. When it comes to the youth, people who have been hurt and who have experienced hurting other people to a certain level, it is not nothing that they wish on other people. So when people see my children, for example, and they say, oh, I didn't even know that was your son, I feel like excellent. I don't take it as a, yeah, I used to. Oh, what is he supposed to act like? But then you have to think about it. What were you in the streets? How did you act in the streets? So you can't blame people for expecting certain things, even though it is ignorant. But the shit that I did in the streets, I never brought home. My children don't know nothing about gangbanging. They don't know nothing about street shit. They don't know nothing about guns and robbery and all that. It was never taught to them. It was never a thing that I openly wanted my children to experience, so I never brought it to them. Even when I sit around in the park and I sit around in different places and I watch the same people tell these fake ass stories about what they did and all, and I don't say nothing because I'm a man. It ain't my business. Only niggas who chime in other people's businesses, that's women tendencies. I let the women do that. If you ain't talking to me directly, I doubt I'm going to acknowledge it. But when you sit around and you see it, it's sickening. And it's sad because the people who were actually there for all of it don't remember none of this shit. But to a young child or a younger person who's impressionable and also trying to impress people while also trying to figure out what life is, that is a fucked up way for you to deal with them. You're not even allowing them a chance to process life for themselves because you're telling them all of these fake ass stories about the money that they got to get and the beef that they got to have and the morals that they got to stand on and all of this extra shit that you govern yourself by that you don't govern yourself by. Because real niggas don't do that. Real niggas don't even sit around you and do certain things. Young niggas can't sit around me and mine when we coolin'. If you ain't a certain age, you can't sit around us. And it ain't about being disrespectful. It's about, like, you're just not on the level that we are. So there's no reason for you to be here. And it's nothing personal, but it's personal. Because I've been through a lot. And anybody who know me, they know what I've done. They know how I was. Keyword was. Because I don't move like that. Everything I do now is about giving back. It's about making sure that somebody don't make the fucking same mistakes I made. I don't sit around and glorify this jail shit. And I don't sit around and glorify Park Ave days and Crip days and all of that. Even though, yeah, they were fun times. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, every day was a bad day. But I can honestly say, as a man, the bad shit outweighed the good. The shit that we stood on. The pain that we caused, the people that we hurt, the shit that you could never apologize for, the things that you can't even talk about because of statute of limitations. All type of shit is invested in living a certain lifestyle. And for an older person or any person that has the influence over a younger person to guide them that way is fucked up. And real niggas don't do that. I'm tired of hearing people say that, oh, I was a real nigga. No, you wasn't. You had a few fights. Okay, cool. You sold a few drugs. Cool. You even might have fucked a few bad bitches. Cool. That does not qualify you to be a real nigga. A real nigga is what you do. How you finish is what makes you a real nigga. All the shit that I ever did and I thought, oh shit, yeah, that shit was official. It was not official. I'm here to tell you that. Because people won't. As men, we have pride. So nobody ever want to say, oh, I wasn't that tough. But you wasn't. People was around. If you hear a story and you go to verify it, 9 times out of 10, it ain't even gonna be the way the nigga told it. Because once again, the real niggas ain't sitting around talking about this shit. Especially with no younger person or a person that wasn't involved in it, because that's a get out of jail free card. And that's just being real. So when you sit around and you trick these young person, it should come back to you. You should feel responsible. Every time you sit around and you misguide somebody, you should feel responsible. And I do. That's why I get back. A lot of people like to lie. But everybody know there was nobody cripping in Lakeview until I started it. And I'm not being proud of that. I should have never brought it from Roosevelt. I should have left it where it was at. Because it fucked up a neighborhood. So I take the time to actually try to rebuild the neighborhood and do things for the youth and make sure that there is things that can be done. But once again, it goes back into the niggas who want to trick the youth who don't even agree with that. Oh, he think he the mayor. He think he this. He think it. No, I'm a nigga that really been through something. I am a person who have experienced things that most of y'all will never experience. I've done things most of y'all will never do. I'm not proud of none of it. Because that's not what this is about. I'm not sitting up here glorifying none of this shit. I'm actually doing the opposite. Trying to get you young brothers and young women to understand that the shit that we live by and move by and govern ourselves by, most of that shit was all trickery, it looked good, it appeared good. We got involved in a bunch of shit that got us nowhere. So once we got a certain age, and most of us did stop fucking with it. I mean, you still have some that's, still active, 40 and 50 going on 18. That's on them. But for the average person, they either got away from it and left it all alone, or they're trying to make a difference. And that's how you know the real from the fake. There's nobody that ever went through something that wants you to go through it that you consider real. Ever. When a person tell you, oh, you ain't never been to jail, stay the fuck away from them. Oh, you ain't never shot nobody, nigga. Stay the fuck away from them. Because if you did it, and you experienced it, and you went through all the shit that came along with it, why the fuck would you want somebody else to go through it? And that's being real. If you shot a nigga, and you knew what it feel like to be on the run, and to go to jail, or to not even go to jail, but to shoot him, and now you worried if he died, and all type of other. If you know what all of this feels like, why the fuck would you want somebody else to feel it? If you know what jail feels like, why would you want somebody to feel it? If you know what gang assault feels like, being the receiver or the one doing it, if you honestly know the damage that you are doing, why would you want someone else to repeat it? These are the problems that I have. I have no problem with men reminiscing about things that have happened. We all do it. But I do have a problem when men sit around and encourage the youth to do stupid shit. Especially when it's a man who ain't did none of the shit he talking about. There's nothing worse than a man that lives in his head for a younger male to be around. Who lie about all the shit he did and put all these fake ass expectations in this young nigga head that this young nigga think he gotta live by. Not only is it corny and not only is it fucked up, but it's a waste of time, and you're also about to cause another man to waste his time. And I'm not here to save the world, but for the people around me, if I can help, I've done it. I don't get thank yous. I do shit for people, for families, for everything. I don't get thank yous. I don't care about the thank yous because I've done enough bullshit to the point where it is time to start trying to make a difference. Like I said, run my name, check my resume, see what I've done. I ain't got to talk about me. I rarely do. By the time I get there, I am known. My name is already in the room. Thanks to probably a sucker nigga. But every now and then I do get a real nigga introduction. But overall, it's the type of niggas we talking about that want to trick the youth. Because when a real nigga come around, you can't tell your bullshit stories. So you don't want us around. When niggas like me walk into a room, their light diminishes. So they don't want us around. So they create bullshit narratives in their head for, oh, he did this, or he moving funny, or no. He's a fucking grown man who won't put up with your little boy tactics and your little boy antics. I'm not with the tricking the youth. And if you are a youth or a younger person and you are hanging around niggas who all they talking about is the negative shit they did, ask them where it got them. And think about it. If they sitting around you talking about it, look where their life is at. Is it what you want for yourself? Because I know it ain't what I want for me. I wake up every day and try to figure out how to make this shit better. That's it. Because that's what it's all about for me. Making this shit better. So to all y'all niggas out here that's tricking the youth and telling all these lies and trying to act like you are and bigger than you was, do it and put a positive twist on it, okay? Act like you the big El Chapo Scarface nigga you want to be. But help them out. Don't hurt them. Keep telling them all these bullshits and then not telling them what the end results was. Let them know everything. Let them know all the shit that come with this shit. Because you tricking them. You glorifying shit that you know don't matter. And it's time for you to do something else. It's time for us to be different. Time to be the change that you want to see. And that's all I'm saying. And I thank y'all for fucking with me. You know, real talk for real people. And everybody talking, but we talk that talk, man. Thank you for watching.